Thank you for joining us.
Namaste.
So, today, as we go through postures, we're going to focus on what you notice in the posture, what you notice about sensations, what you notice if we're holding the posture for a little bit longer. So, it might mean that we repeat a posture just to feel into something else around the posture, like you may be really focused on your arms, you may be focused on a tension in your body, or you may be focused on your breath. So we're going to play around with that. And then I'll also add in a little bit more conscious breath practice within the poses. So we'll just see how we go. It's always about an experiment, and it's always for you to learn more about your practice, because this is your practice, not my practice. And this is practice and not perfect. So it's all about just going in with that intention to try things on and see what works really well for you. So let's begin. So we'll just go ahead and start laying with the legs long. This is where some of you may have discomfort in your back, but it's pretty much a straight Shavasana pose. And just notice what's in contact with the floor. Like right now, I feel, for some reason, more weighted into my right ankle and my right leg. Like it feels like I've shifted over a little bit to the right side. Now, I want you to really focus on paying attention and not worry about if you're feeling uneven, oh, I better shake it up and get it right, because it could be that you're totally even and it's just a sensation. So just notice as you, and it could be for me, this sensation is about, well, this part of my body is easier to just let go and the other part is still working a little bit. So just take a little scan, noticing what parts of the body are touching the floor, and what parts are away from the floor. And then see if you can feel a whole picture of your body. Can you feel, well, let's just say this. Can you feel the outline of your body? As if somebody was just sort of tracing along the outline of your body. And then we'll do a little bit of lengthening the exhale, and just we'll do a couple of rounds and just notice if there's anything different you notice in your body. So take an inhale and an exhale and an inhale, and then see how long you can make that exhale. So you may want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you can get 6 in there. And then take an inhale. And again, count that exhale. Maybe you can lengthen it even longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And take another inhale, and then see how long you can make this exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then just notice anything else going on in your body. You feel anything different? Like for me, I feel like I'm almost like one of those blow-up dolls. I feel like I can feel more fullness in my body, like I can feel more expansion, like in the arms. So that's just my sensation. It might have nothing to do with yours, but I'm just going to try to help you gauge that as I describe my own. And then just take a notice what's happening. And then slowly slide one foot up. And then slowly slide the other foot up. And just notice what happens as you press the heels, the feet into the floor. Does it feel like they're going out or moving in, or that one's got more weight than the other? Just notice how that changes the relationship between the heels of the sit bone and perhaps the pelvis and that fold in the leg. And then we'll just do another round or two of long exhales. So take an inhale and an exhale and an inhale on one. An inhale and then an exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then inhale again and see how long your exhale can be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale again, and maybe you can make the next exhale even longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then just notice what's happening in your body. And then if you want to bring the palms down or the hands underneath, we'll start to go into bending the knees, straightening through the legs, and this can be a little bit lower, bending the knees, feet on the floor. And as you're doing this, just notice, where do you feel your weight now, especially when the legs come up? And then is it different when you put your feet on the floor? You feel it shifting the weight. And where do you feel the body start to engage? So engaging a little bit of muscular activity. And I like my hands under my head because it lengthens my elbows and I feel like it's nice in my shoulders. But you might want more activity, more intensity, and that's when you can bring the arms overhead and then just notice in your body what's happening here. And then we'll try that breath practice again while we're moving this time. So take an inhale and an exhale, and an inhale and then exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's almost like, rubbing your head with your hand and your belly at the same time, right? Because it's not the breath with the movement, it was a longer exhale. And then just notice what's happening in your breath. In your body. Did that give you a little bit more energy that you can keep going with this movement? Or are you feeling like that's enough? So just notice that. And then just do 2 more. And then release the arms. And sometimes it's just putting your attention on something else. So putting your attention on the breath, and then you forget about something that might feel more intense in the body, so you can go longer. Think about people who do marathon running. And I'm not necessarily advocating for what some of them go through, but there is a process of, I don't even know how to describe it. So come in to all fours. And really spread your hands and find that connection with the feet and the shins here and the knees. And just notice in neutral spine. What do you notice? Where's the weight now? Is it more on one side of the body? Does it feel like the weight is really pouring into the hands evenly, into the tops of the feet evenly, or are you forgetting about the body part? And then this will be interesting. Start to just round the spine into cat tilt. And then inhale into dog tilt. And we'll go through it reasonably slow enough so that you can feel into the sensations, and you can hold it for a couple of breaths when you go into each position to just notice what happens there. And maybe that's the easier way to do the breath practice. So we'll take an inhale and an exhale, and then rounding the spine up, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then inhale, rounding the other way, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale and round the other way, and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then come back to neutral. And then just notice what you notice in the body. And then walk the hands a little bit more forward. And tuck the toes under. And go into a downward dog. And go ahead and just walk the dog a little bit. And then bend at the knees. Rest the armpits and then straighten the legs. We'll do the breath practice here on the next round because we need to just waken the body up to this position. We'll go ahead and go back down to big toes together, knees wide. But we'll go ahead in this pose, we'll just do 2 rounds of the breath. So inhale and exhale, and inhale and then exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale again, and then exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then come back up. And hopefully you feel how that pose is much easier to go into really lengthening the breath, because it is very much a restful pose, or it has a restfulness to it. So let's come back into downward dog, and this will be interesting to see how we go with that breath practice. We'll just do 2 rounds, try to make it manageable, since downward dog can be difficult on some people's shoulders. So walk the hands a little bit further out here, tuck the toes under, and go into downward dog. And then see if we can do 2 rounds of the breath practice. Inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, and then see how long you can do that exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just pay attention to your body. What's happening? And then again, go back into big toes together, knees wide. And we'll do that practice one more time in downward dog. So when I'll instruct it. So then inhale, come up again. Walk the hands forward. Tuck the toes under, come to downward dog. And first, just take a scan again of the body. What do you notice going on in the body? Take an inhale and an exhale, and an inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And inhale. One more exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now just notice what's happening in the body. And then slowly walk the hands and the feet towards each other. And you can just have a little shake out here, shaking through the spine a little bit, shaking the head, yes and no. And then slowly roll up and come up to standing. So we'll come into Tavasana, standing on the feet. And I just want, again, to pay attention to Tadasana, where the weight is. What are the sensations in your body? You feeling tension anywhere, tightness? Are you feeling some of the muscles engage, hold you up? Are you feeling gravity or that force that actually gives you a bit of lift in the body? And then inhale those arms overhead. And now notice how that changes the body. Like it feels to me, I become much more aware of my feet. And then exhale the arms down. And we'll do that again. We'll lift the arms up and we'll do 2 rounds of that breath practice and see what that does. So again, lift those arms up overhead. Take an inhale and an exhale, and then inhale and then exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then exhale the arms down. And then just notice what you notice. Where's the weight now? What's engaged in the body? And then we'll try a few standing poses. So let's bring those, or I should say other standing poses, because that was a standing pose. So we've got the legs out wide, and then I'll do mirror image, so the left foot is toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. Now remember, you can bring the arms into the pose, or if you're feeling like you just want to work on the legs here with the breath practice, you can do that with the awareness practice. So anytime you can back out or start again. So just know that we'll hold them a little bit longer today with these breath practices. So anyway, I'm going to go over and bring my arm up. You don't have to do that. You can always leave the arm down. So first, take a notice of what you're feeling or what the sensations are in this pose. And then take an inhale and an exhale, and an inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then just notice what you notice in the body. I felt like I could go slightly deeper into it. That may not be your experience at all. And then inhale, slowly come up. You can bring the arms down and the feet parallel. So again, if you need to come up, or if you need those exhale practices to be shorter than what I'm instructing, that's great too. I'm just instructing them because it's just easier for me. But if you feel like you need to shorten that, that's fine too. So now we'll take the left foot, right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe. And again, you can just keep the hands at the waist, or you put one down, one here, or one up. Now notice this side. Is it different than the other side? Because we're all a little bit asymmetrical. Just notice what you notice. And then take an inhale and an exhale. And an inhale, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, notice what you notice in the pose. Inhale, slowly come up, bring the feet parallel, and come back in to Tavasana. And we're going to go through that pose again. You can do that breath practice if you're finding that helpful, but I'll just take you into a longer hold, and you're free to use the exhale practice or just focus on what you're noticing. So bring the feet wide again. Left foot toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. Again, the hands can stay here. The hands can go on the pose. And just focus in on what you notice. You want to add the breath practice you can. I'm going to try to hold the pose as long as we were doing that with the breath practice. Just want you to make this your own. And then inhale, slowly come up. Bring the feet parallel. Again, the right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe. Again, you can keep the hands on the hips, or you can bring the arms into the pose, or one arm down. It's whatever feels right in your body right this minute. And again, notice the body. You can notice the outline of the body. Can you feel how your body is outlined from the fingers to the toes, to the sides of the body, up to the head? Where's the spine? What's going on with the breath? You can include the breath practice. And then inhale, slowly come up, bring the feet parallel, come back into Tavasana. And then just have a couple of breaths here. And notice what you notice about the weight in the feet, what's engaged in the body, where's your head and tail, where's your spine. Just notice what sensations you're most aware of. And then hands on the hips, we'll go into Pajbokonasana twice, similar to what we just did for Utthita Trikonasana. So take that left foot toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. This time we'll bend deeply and place the forearm here. And again, with this pose, because it is quite a strong pose, you can keep the arm down or you can bring it up or up and over. So again here, notice what you notice between the feet, the weight, where's the torso, what are the sensations. And then take an inhale and an exhale, and an inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale and exhale on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then just notice what you notice in the body. And then inhale, slowly come up, feet parallel. And then we'll go to the other side. So right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe. And then bend deeply. Place the forearm on the thigh. Other arm can stay down or up and over. Whatever works for you today. And then just notice what you notice about your feet, about your sensation, about where your head and tail are. And then take an inhale and an exhale, and an inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And then just notice what you notice. And then slowly come up. Bring the feet parallel. And then come back to Tadasana. And again, notice your sensations, weight in the feet, your breath, what's happening for you right this minute. And then we'll do that pose one more time, and I won't count the breath. You're welcome to do that, but we'll just notice what it's like, sensations, how you are in the pose. So again, take the feet out wide. Take the left foot toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. As we bend deeply with the forearm on the thigh. The other arm can be down, up, or up and over. And again, you start with noticing what you notice. And then if you want to do some exhale practice, trying to count long exhales, you can. Or you can just stay here and just notice as you hold the pose for a little longer. What are the sensations? Maybe you start having thoughts. What's the breath? And then slowly come up. Bring the feet parallel. And then take the left foot, right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe. And then as you bend deeply, you've got the forearm on the thigh. The other arm can be down, straight up, or up and over. And now just begin to notice what you notice. Adding that exhale practice in if you'd like. back into Tavasana. And then just notice your breath, notice what's happening in your body, your feet, the weight. Maybe like me, you feel the heart beating. That's what I've become aware of just now. And I hadn't really paid attention to my heartbeat until just now. So there you go. But maybe you've been aware of it all along. So we'll end the standing poses with tree pose, and we'll add the breath practice in. So come onto your right foot, bring your left foot up. Hands can come into prayer. It's easier to stay with them in prayer than bringing them overhead. Do that. And if you're up to it, you can take an inhale and an exhale. And an inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then release the foot and the arm. I was having a little balance problem. Maybe you were just fine. So I didn't have you stay there and really notice what's happening. Maybe it's a little harder on a one-footed pose. We'll see if I can do better on the other side. So standing on the left foot, you can bring the right foot up. And again, hands can stay in prayer. Or they can go overhead. And take an inhale and an exhale. And an inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, and maybe notice what's happening in your body. And release the arms and legs. Sometimes in standing poses, it takes everything, attention in us to just stay in that balance, so often we can't do a multi-focus so well, but it's worth a try, right? So come down. So we'll just come into some gentle sitting poses, and we'll use the breath in that because it'll be easier to do that. And if you've got something to sit on, or if you need to sit onto something, you can sit on a blanket or a cushion. Bring the hands down next to you, feet out in Dandasana. And we're going to go into easy cross legs. So bending at the knees, and bring the right shin in front. And this is where it's sometimes helpful to have things to put under the thighs, like rolled towels if you need to. If you need to be higher, of course, that's going to help. So whatever works for you. And then just bring the hands on the thighs, just to try to press the thighs to feel a bit of the weightedness, because you really want to be weighted into those sit bones. And then just take a couple of noticings first. Notice if you can feel that weightedness in the sit bones. You can sort of rock them side to side if you're having trouble finding them. Otherwise, see if you can feel the length in the spine. Do you notice that, or are you noticing something else? And then we'll come a little bit forward to have a little bit of a forward extension here a little bit. And then we'll just go into that breath practice. Well, first notice what you notice here. Notice what sensations are most prevalent. And then take an inhale and an exhale. And an inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can do another one if you'd like. You might feel that you can go a little bit deeper in the pose. And again, pay attention to the sensation. What are you noticing? Maybe something in your knees or your pelvis or your thighs. And then slowly walk the hands up, bringing them back onto the thighs, and here in sitting, notice what you notice. Maybe you feel more weightiness in your sit bones, maybe you don't. Just giving you some ideas. And then bring the knees up again. Extend them back into Dandasana, just to open the backs of the legs. And bend the knees in again. Place the left shin in front of the right. Again, hands on the thighs, just to notice what you notice, but also to get some more weight in the pelvis. But perhaps this time you don't need it because you've done one side already. Again, if you need support under your legs, have that. If you need to sit on height, have that. And begin to walk the hands forward. And first, pay attention to what you notice. What sensations are most present? And then take an inhale and an exhale, an inhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And perhaps you want to take a few more breaths like that. And then just notice what you're noticing. And then slowly start to walk the hands back. Lift. Oh, notice what you notice sitting up, right? Lifting the knees up, moving back into Dandasana. And then go into Shavasana, either flat down, legs up the wall, legs on the chair. Just whatever you need. Take an inhale and an exhale. Exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale and exhale on 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice where the weight is in your body. Feel the breath at your nostrils. And then just notice if there's a specific area in the body that may feel a little bit of tension. And if so, you can just imagine your breath exhaling that long count into that space. Or you can actually do it. You can actually exhale into that place, or imagine the breath going into that place. Exhaling on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice what's happening in your body, and you feel that breath in your nostrils. Are both nostrils feeling the breath moving in and out? Slowly begin to reawaken your body, bringing in a little bit more breath, stretching to the fingers, the toes. Do a big body stretch before you roll to your side, finding your way up to sitting. Maybe there'll be a time throughout the day that you need to just count that exhale for yourself. Maybe there's a time where you're feeling some tension and you just need to do that for yourself. Thank you for watching and joining us. And namaste.